Hello, my name's Anusha. I'm a vlogger and a pissed off person today because it's hot and I don't like the heat because I'm disabled and I have a heating intolerance. So this is a very quick video about me talking about the practical uses of shame and why, if I hear that shame is not a useful tactic, I will just block and unfollow. Because shame has been used throughout history to get people rights, to share information, to speak up for the marginalized, or for marginalized to speak up for themselves is probably a better way of phrasing it. Blah 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 blah. And please don't take my knucklehead opinion. Go to Corrections and Spice Instagram. I will put the exact video I'm talking about, because you know, like when you watch a video and you're like, oh my god, I'm right. That's how I felt. And Imani talks about how the shame was used as a tactic for the bus protests that basically helped disabled people move around freely in America, and that essentially shamed people into advocating with disabled people and eventually allowing us to move freely, changing the way buses work and things like that, which, you know, it could be better, but still. And yeah, shame is a really good tactic. I mean, heck, if you want to talk about shame, let's talk about AIDS epidemic and how those who had lost people to AIDS, those who had lost people to AIDS, sorry, I'm pretty sure, did they not put bodies on senators' like front garden? Is that not a shaming tactic? Did we not shame Margaret Thatcher into at least providing some vital educational, informational things because people were dying? I mean, I did research on this and I want to say it was the 1980s, and one of the advisors to the government, I can't remember his name, he basically was like, well, the whole world is doing something about this AIDS crisis and we don't seem to be doing a lot. That seems to be pretty bad for public opinion. Because of that shame, I mean, the government did the bare fucking minimum at the last fucking possible minute, but they did something. And that wouldn't have happened without the brave and the, I guess, courageous, but I don't want to kind of patronize them, but you know what I mean, activists who went out there and said, look, my friends are dying, my loved ones are dying, people are dying, fucking fix it. Shame works. So don't take my knucklehead opinion. But if you want my knucklehead opinion, here it is. Shame is all we've really got at the moment. Well, I keep coming up against this comment of you can't shame people into doing things. People don't respond well to shaming. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Like, it's poking the bear. And you see, the reason why I say shame is one of the only things we've got is when we said in 2020, hey, if you bring the teachers back into school with unvaccinated children, then immunocompromised people, actually fuck that, everybody might get sick. They might die. Things might happen to them. No one listened and it happened. Granted, I don't particularly blame everybody because, again, the government has been known to take children away for parents who try to protect their children from illness, so I understand that. Another example, hey, 2020 eat out to help out. That seems pretty fucking dangerous, considering we don't have a vaccination and COVID was, there was another mutation of it, there was another surge that was happening. And, you know, being in small spaces, in a little restaurant, and making people work with COVID seems like a bad idea. People did it anyway. Those who are COVID safe have been educating the public for years at this point. Do not even try and give me the whole, oh, Boris, he didn't know about infections. Oh, Rishi didn't know about infections. I don't know what accent this is. Rishi was told by top scientists, hey, this is bad. And he fucking did it anyway. The public, you lot, were told, whether it's through the BBC, through online, through the newspaper, through many means, through your loved ones, through your disabled people who basically were stuck in their homes, hey, this shit is bad. And people went and did it anyway. So please don't try and give me, oh, like, you know, shame is not a really good tactic. We've tried other things as well. I'm not just trying to be a bitch. But the reason I'm a bitch is because whenever I bring up, I try and educate in a loving way. I try to educate in a way that's like, hey, maybe don't do this. I get met with pushback or being told that I'm attention seeking. So at what point do I say, do you know what, fuck it? At what point do I say, fuck it? I made a whole song called Burden, which is what this channel was really about. Which is about how, again, my roommate put me in danger of contracting COVID. And in the song, I say, is it cowardice or shyness? Was it shyness or cowardice? I should really know my own song. One of the two. Or is it both? Do they intersect? So if you aren't going to speak up for me now, when I die, will you at least try to mourn me publicly? Probably not. At that point, I had enough. I was like, you know what? I'm really being left to die by my peers. And I'm saying this, God, this is not going to be a short video, I'm sorry. So like I went to the hospital on Thursday and they made me change my mask, even though my mask was safe. And I have reason to believe that I have been exposed to COVID. So I am treating it as if I had been exposed to COVID. And I'm vexed because the nurses, the doctors, the general public, whoever, like they've just stopped caring. And I'm not shaming you for not knowing all the ins and outs of how to protect yourself from COVID. I am not. But what I am shaming people for is the fact that you don't give a shit. Like, you don't even care to find out. There is a huge subsection of the general public that have died. There's a huge subsection of the general public that are stuck in their houses. And you've not asked, how you doing? What's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. No, because at that point, then you would be in the firing line and you don't want that. So again, at what point do I just say, fuck it, I don't like the way you've behaved? And here's the thing. After that, after all of that, guess what you can do? You can either call me a bitch and say, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I think you're attention seeking. I think you're a clout chaser. And ignore me and block me and mute me like most people do. Or you could be like, oh, that feels really shitty. One of my mates, mind you, who I commend so much, was doing up, you know, like holidays and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, go over there, go over there. I released the Burden zine. They brought it, I sent it to them. And then they messaged me. And they were like, Nusha, your poem about, you know, seeing your friends online and feeling like, wow, you really just expect me to die like this. Yeah, like my poem was not nice at all. And they messaged me and they were like, I'm so sorry. Wow. I'm gonna change my behavior. And then from that shame, from that really weird, awkward moment, they're now wearing masks. They are being as COVID safe as they possibly can. We went out to the park a couple of months ago. And when I tell you, that was one of the first interactions where I was like, oh my God, I can be a bit normal now. I'm saying that in air quotations because that's a problematic statement, but I don't know how else to phrase it. So yes, shame can be really useful. It can't be the only thing. Sure, I'll agree with you there. But shame is a really useful tactic. And to be quite fucking honest, and this is my last point because again, this video is already getting a bit too long. If you feel like the person you're talking to can't be talked to in a way as in like you feel like if I give you information, you're not going to receive it. If the person you're talking to, you don't think they're going to receive the information well, you don't think that they're going to understand, or you don't think they're going to care. Maybe they just don't care. Because I hate to break it to you, but like a lot of people do not care if a bunch of people died. Because they want their social capital, they want money. So, I don't know, what do you do? What do you do at that point? And I'm not saying that everyone's a lost cause. I think what I'm saying is that please don't try and act like we've not been doing anything. That, oh, you're just being like emotional. You're overreacting, you're being hyperbolic. I've done a video on that. I am trying to fight for my life and for the life of others. And for yours, to be quite frank. So I get to act however I get to act. You don't get to tell a marginalised person who has been madly affected by COVID how they should react. Also, very last point, PS, don't start bringing in your other disabled loved ones who have passed as justification for you to be unsafe. Because that is just sick and you deserve to be haunted. Okay, goodbye.